Alright, so from my personal opinion, now CDL Dom is a little bit different. So what they actually do quite a bit is they'll neutralize the flag a lot. Um, Especially if like if they are spawning, let's say they're spawning at C and pushing into B. If one or two of them spawn at A, they'll just run into A and neutralize it real quick, and then wait for the spawn to stabilize back at C and then just push back through. So that way the other team isn't gaining any points.
What do you mean neutralize it? Like they cap it?
No,
Wait.
they can't. Like in CDL Dom, you can neutralize the points. Like, so instead of rolling it from one to the other, you can actually neutralize the points back to the gray.
Why would you do that? Because you wouldn't get any points for capping it.
Yeah, you're not getting any points, but at the same time, the most important thing is that you're holding 2 points. It's 2-point spawn, which is why me and Blues always push, like, if you have 2 points, you always want to just have 2 points, because when you cap the 3rd point, you're gonna spawn their team in the auxiliary and tertiary spawns, and they're gonna spawn a lot of them. So like if you own A, B, and C, they'll actually spawn back here behind office, which is problematic because half their team will often run C and half of them will run A, and then you'll lose both of them, and then you spawn useless here while they have all the time in the world to take B, which also becomes problematic. And you don't want to be out for that long. Since there's only 5 of your team, especially in a pro team setup, it takes a really long time to cap the flag because you have to neutralize it first and cap it. So like everything is just additive. It just takes longer. So a lot of times, they'll send one person in there to neutralize the flag, and if that one person dies, it's not a big deal. If you have like 3 people on a point and they die, that's a problem, especially with the respawn system. In my personal opinion, the best spawn and the one that I've seen the most has been AB. And so for AB control, a lot of times you'll have somebody here watching bottom and watching top. So, they're kind of playing around here, over here, watching up here. But this way you have access to these two, which of course then you'll notice leaves you open to forklift. However, so let's say this is position 1, right? So this is a necessary point right here. You also actually have somebody out here playing forklift, playing lumber mid, and just kind of floating out here, listening for people come through here, or go for the alternative spawn and try and flip it and gain control.
And that's true even if the person floating right there is essentially being useless. Let's say that they're watching that area, no one comes that area, you haven't put shots downrange on anybody, you haven't helped cap a point. Regardless, stay there.
Yeah,
Right?
all of these positions are zone control positions. So after you capture the point, you're gonna want somebody up there. You're gonna want somebody floating around here, just playing around. You can even be back here, on the head glitch if you want, and just kind of play this middle ground to watch for a flank from here.
Yeah.
The third major position is actually pretty much here. So watching this window and kind of playing a secondary role out here. I've even seen it to the point where if you have the control enough, they'll have somebody camp right here on the stairs, watching, from lumber, watching up here, especially if they're pushing office side, watching all of this. And instead of the person up top watching out here, there'll be somebody down here, kind of peeking out, like looking for pushes. And then if this person's getting lit up or is getting pressed, the person who's on the stairs can push up and grab a spawn or grab a sight line.
So the person in position 1 will be backing up these two people essentially.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So the person in position 1 is basically just maintaining control of these two and is supporting on the spawn. So if somebody dies up there, down, like say somebody dies in that last position, that 4th position,
Mhm.
you'll wait for that guy to push in, you'll kill him, and you'll run down and you'll take their position, and then the guy who died can go up to your position. So you can rotate that position if necessary, or just wait until he gets back there and you've secured it, and the person can pull back and go back up here. I've also seen it where if this guy's getting a lot of heat, or if like the person on upper warehouse dies and lower warehouse dies, I've seen them push up here with like a shorter gun and watch this angle, because you're protected from the top warehouse and the bottom warehouse, and you're a little bit closer for that grab. I've seen them play there too, especially if something happened that forced them off the upper warehouse. Now, one thing that's also really important, while it's good to hold this position, you don't just want to stand here and look at this the whole game. You're going to want to go on either side of the box. Every once in a while, you may want to run over here for a kill or two. Like, these positions are important, but understand the concept behind the position. So the actual concept of this is making sure nobody gets through this door or this door, and then potentially helping out mid if both this guy and that guy are dead. But that's going to be a pretty rare occasion. So it's just better if you can watch that door and watch that door. So whatever you need to do to make sure that this concept is taken care of, you're golden. So this is another important point. When your job is to watch these two, just make sure that you're always keeping contact with these openings. So you're always kind of watching it when you can afford to do it. So like if you're by yourself and you want to get over here, just make sure that you kind of keep a profile on these at all times. And if you're going to go back across, just make sure that you're snapping back as appropriate. And this is one of the big mistakes I see sometimes, is people get antsy. So like if you kill one guy here, you don't need to move immediately. Like that guy knows where you're at, and if he makes a call out, that would be problematic with a full team. But if you kill him, even if he's on a team, you probably have 5 to 10 seconds before somebody really comes at you. So it's better to wait for a second or third push that's with him than for you to kill that guy and go, oh, I need to move, and you run down here and then you get shot from the second guy coming across.
Mm.
Or if you kill a guy and you're not sure, chucking something out there, waiting for it, and then making the appropriate decision to move or not to move.
Okay. So that really kind of points out how important it is to call out whether or not you're dying, because the person in 4th position, if he dies and doesn't let anyone know, and you're taking fire from, let's say, forklift, and he doesn't let you know in 4th position that he's dead, you don't know to rotate.
Yeah, you don't know to rotate, and you also don't know, like, you don't even know if you're gonna get shot from there. So if somebody's dying in that 4th bottom position, and I turn out to grab this guy out here, I may be hurt. And if I'm hurt from here and that guy comes up behind me, he's either going to one-tap me or I'm not going to see him. Because when you're hurt up here, you don't want to stick your head up there still. You want to be like down lower, and you may not have the best line of sight, but it's more important for you to live and fight another day, fight 5 seconds later than it is for the 20-second spawn that you're going to have to face.
Okay.
So once again, the concept here is these two doors. I've also seen it where they'll camp that. It's a little more unlikely. Typically, if there's 5 people, the 5th guy will either be playing the mid, or he'll be playing like down low.
A lot of people go in the garage too sometimes.
Yeah. So you can play that, but like if we're just talking about the bare necessity people, it's gonna be this guy watching these two doors. That's his concept. This guy's concept over here is mainly to listen to people in the office for a push, grab anybody coming out here, and then when he's not worried about that, watching out here. for any
So
push
this
from
is
over the wall or anything else.
forklift is primarily an AR position then?
Yes, typically from what I've seen, it's been like a longer area position. That's exactly right. So this is, basically a longer distance. I've seen both SMGs and ARs up on the box. Um, that I think just comes down to personal preference.
Okay.
Um, this guy right here is typically running SMG because he actually has the farthest distance to travel. Because if you're getting pressed up top, you have to, grab up here. Obviously, you wouldn't, but you're gonna grab up here, grab out here, or you've got to come back down and fight some people coming up lumber.
Make a trade, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the guy down bottom is also an SMG because this is the longest distance you're gonna have to fight is right here.
Right.
And if you're not killing an AR guy from here and you both shoot first, you probably need to work on aim a little bit.
Now, in that fourth position, you have, if you're just at the front door, yellow top window, if they're sniping, they have clear shot. So is it just play that angle and not give that window a shot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
A way to kind of take care of that is close that one door. Now you've still got your line of sight, but he can't see you.
Got you. Okay, and so, but I mean, they can wall bang you if they're at the white van. They can wall bang you to the door, but the sniper won't know that there's a shot there to take.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it also, you're gonna die. You're gonna take a wall bang here. You're gonna take a shot there. The problem comes down to like when you're getting hammered. So if there's somebody at the white van, this guy doesn't lose by being back here. This guy also doesn't lose by being in here. Like, you have to remember your main role is either to call people out here. So the concept here is a little bit more difficult. So you're watching here for a call out for top, a push to the right, smokestack, and anything here. So you're basically looking at this whole cone.
Okay.
But your only job is if you're getting pushed hard, all you say is, "I'm retreating." You run back here and you grab like a low angle, one where the guy can't get you up top, but you can throw like a stun and a Simtex or something up. Listen for them to come this bottom door, because even if you're back, theoretically, this guy should have you covered. When you retreat, this guy should also have you covered. So positions 1 and position 3 should both have position 4 covered. So really all you're doing is you're basically an alarm system, an alarm and an early pick system. Now if you hold those 3 positions, or those 4 positions, the only place for them to spawn is back here in this blue van corner. You may get like a tertiary spawn like in here, but like that person's not a major threat because you're forcing them into this box.
So that C spawn that you pointed out over here by blue van.
Yeah.
Is this just parking lot or is this garage or
Blue van.
Yeah, it's blue van.
just blue van?
Yeah, that's blue
Parking
van
lot is by office.
is over here. Yeah, it's right here.
This is parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just call police there as well?
No, because there's other police cars on the other side.
Okay, copy that.
yeah.
Parking lot. Gotcha.
Now
We've also called it office lot too. Either
And
one,
flags.
as long as you know it's as long as you know it's this lot.
Gotcha.
Flags, because there's flags painted on the doors below you. It's been
Oh, yeah.
called flags. It's been called,
Okay.
hot.
Yeah,
But
as long as we know that it's like this is a lot of people that the one I've heard the most has been like lot.
Yeah.
This has been lot. That's blue
Office
van.
lot.
Yeah. And then white van, yellow,
Hello.
yellow containers or cargo. This is lumber.
I've heard mid a lot for this cargo area.
Mid is okay too. It's kind of at some point if we need it, it's kind of a mute point at this point when it comes down to like making more specific callouts because we're so late in this game, in this cycle. typically like mid or containers is fine. Lumber. I hear lumber gets mixed up a lot with phone booth. When I'm thinking phone booth, I'm thinking like this corner, like this whole corner, where you'll typically have like a lot of people in pubs will like camp this corner, or they'll be coming past phone booth. So if they're like running past phone booth, that's a phone booth call out. But this is lumber over here.
What
Oh,
are the
phone
callouts
booth.
on the other? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask the other side of the map over near A. People don't. There's not a whole lot of action there. It seems like in pubs at least. What's that? What are those?
This is
buildings
abandoned
called?
building. This is abandoned. This is
Tire
tires,
shop.
Okay.
and here's the police cars.
And then
Ta-da.
the tractor trailer.
So this is right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is this area I don't think we ever really officially called anything out, but you can probably call it like you can call it yeah, well, either that or like tire
A
lot.
Parking lot.
Yeah, a lot or something like that should be fine. And this is scaffold.
Scaffold. Okay, so now earlier you were over at phone booth. If someone calls phone booth, you can pretty much just assume that they're transitioning into warehouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, like, ideally, you would know, like, based upon the angle that they're coming out. But also, by the way, if somebody calls out phone booth, if you died from phone booth, that means they're looking a particular direction. You should have more information, than just phone booth. Like, for example, if they kill you and they're running towards you at warehouse, you know they're going warehouse. So you're trying to call out where they're going, not where they killed you. So, like, just thinking that far ahead can also be beneficial.
Okay, because one of the things that throws me is when they say warehouse, I may be, bottom warehouse looking out at red truck, and they say, oh, pushing warehouse. I'll be standing there like, where? I don't see anybody. But
Yeah,
they mean the opposite side of the map.
yeah. So typically that's why. So I'll say, when I say like warehouse stairs or mid stairs, this is mid stairs for me, for upper warehouse. Then you have like container stairs, which is on, or you've got C stairs for upper, but a
Okay.
lot of times I would just call upper warehouse at that point. This is the warehouse. This is the warehouse window, and then this is garage or mechanic. Is this area in particular? Like, we can find more specific callouts if we determine that we need them, but at the same time, I don't want to break anybody on callouts either without having like a more representative guide. We used to do like nights where we would walk the whole map and I'd go through all the callouts. We can do that if you guys think that would be useful. But at the same time, a lot of people are just like, they zone out after like the first 3 or 4 because it's just like, it's a lot of information to take in. Sometimes it's easier just to have the map open while you're playing a game.
I think it's better for us to do for us to do something like this and just record it.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah,
the things
something
that
that we can draw on and use on our own time and resource kind of go.
I think the Codcaster thing helps a lot.
Shit, yeah.
Lot less
Yeah,
shooting
everybody
and
following
dying.
each other. Yeah.
Man, right? Less
Smart.
fuckery.